Hey everybody, Mr. Odom here, and I am going to go over Chapter 1 and 2 review. So if you follow along, we'll get started. Hopefully this will help you before you guys take your test next week. So our first lesson was lesson 1.1, integers and absolute value. And what did we talk about? We talked about what the absolute value was, and you worked out some problems there. So remember absolute value. So you think, I always think of this to help me remember in my brain. I always say to myself, I'm absolutely positive that absolute value is always positive. Okay, so hopefully that'll help you too. You're welcome to use that. Remember, absolute value is a distance, and it's always positive. It's the distance a number it's the distance between a number and zero on a number line. Okay. Let's look at what the next section is. Did I just go out of this again? I did. I'm having issues with my mouse, so bear with me. Okay. Let's see. Adding integers. That was section 1.2. I'm going to zoom in a little. So hopefully you can see it better in your Chromebook. So section 1.2, skip that slide, adding integers with the same sign. So remember, same sign, add and keep. Okay, and it tells you what to do. Add the absolute values of the integers, then use the common sign. And there's a couple examples for you right there. And remember what opposites are. And opposites are basically two numbers that are the same distance from zero, but on opposite sides of zero. So if you want to know what the opposite of, let me draw a number line. This pen is kind of weird. It vibrates and shakes. So there's zero. And if, let me pick another color. If I want to know what's the opposite of -6, you would say 6. Okay. Or if I said, what is the opposite of 6? You would say -6. All right. So that's that part. Adding integers with the same sign, add and keep. Different signs, subtract. And remember, you subtract. So here's an example. 8 plus -10 equals -2. Hopefully you guys will start doing that in your head. But remember, if I can't remember how to do this, then what I want you to do for this problem, this one, let me come up here. I want you to find the absolute value of each value there. So of each number, that one's 8. And then the absolute value of -10 is 10. And then you can go ahead and do some subtraction. You're going to take 10 and you're going to subtract 8 from it. And what do you get? You get 2. So notice in the answer, I have 2 here. And then I'm going to borrow this negative sign. This negative sign, I'm borrowing it from here. Okay? And I put it in front because that absolute value is the greater absolute value. -10 creates the greater absolute value. Okay? Also remember that when you add two integers together, let me get this here. When you add two integers together and they are opposites of each other, you will always get 0. And there's some examples there for that. Okay, so you have to remember all this when we get to chapter 2, because I'm going to go quickly through that. 1.3, when you're adding integers, remember to, I'm going to underline again, add its opposite. Okay, add the opposite. All right, add the opposite. Okay. So basically, what am I doing? I'm turning a subtraction problem into an addition problem. Okay, so turn your subtraction problems into addition problems. Okay. Next, we're going to look at 1.4 and 1.5, multiplying and dividing integers. Okay, remember, same sign, positive answer. So if the integers have the same sign and I multiply them together, the answer will be positive. Remember, different signs, negative answer. So that's for multiplication. Guess what? The rules for division are exactly the same. Same sign, positive answer, different sign, negative answer. Okay, let me move I'm going to move my face somewhere so it's not in the way. And I can't do it. That's fine. We'll just do this. Okay, so same sign, positive answer, different sign, negative answer. And then chapter 2, we talked about what rational numbers are. Remember, a rational number can be written as a fraction. And the numerator and the denominator are integers, and the denominator is not 0. Okay, the denominator is not 0. Let me back up real quick to point out something that I don't think I emphasized. I'm not sure if I emphasized it in class or in the lesson video, but we say that division by 0 is undefined. So if you see something like this, 8 divided by 0, you would say that that is undefined. Remember, that could be written this way as well. Okay, 8 divided by 0. Both of those we would say are undefined. We just can't define them right now. We need some more math to be able to do that. Okay, so I'm glad I remembered that. And for chapter 2, rational numbers, just remember you can write them as a ratio. And remember that the negative sign can be in the numerator, in the denominator, or it can be right next to the rational number. So lesson 2.2 and 2.3, adding and subtracting rational numbers. The important stuff to remember is you use the same rules that you did when you added and you subtracted rational numbers from chapter 1, right? That's the same rules. Okay. Let's see here. Try to get oh man, Mr. OM, you're really messing this up. Hopefully you guys will be patient with me as I figure out this. I'm working on a different computer and things are not smooth yet, not smooth sailing. So I apologize. Let me scroll down back to where I was. So adding rational numbers, we talked about that. And subtracting rational numbers. Use the same rules again. Remember to add the opposite. Now remember with fractions, you can't add or subtract fractions unless you have common denominators. So notice in these examples, there are common denominators. Okay, so make sure your denominators are common. I just said that common denominators a lot, so it must be important. All right. Lesson 2.4 is multiplying and dividing rational numbers. And again, to multiply and divide, you use the same rules that you use. Let me get this set up here. That you used in sections 1.4 and 1.5. All right. When you multiply two rational numbers, they have the same sign, the answers will be positive. You multiply two rational numbers and they have different signs, the answer will be negative. So that's it for this video. This is just to help you. Your next task will be to have the pretest, and the pretest will look exactly like the regular test, only the numbers will be different. So this is Mr. Odom. I'm trying to look at my camera. Hopefully I'm looking at you. Signing off. You guys have a good day.